Hey guys, me again. I think this is going to be quite a short video, to be honest with you. I'm looking at one of these head units for a customer, and basically it's a head unit for a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Basically, the problem is there's no display. Nothing whatsoever on the display. I'm trying to wake it up, make it do something, nothing. This is a Reserve, it's the model, Reserve HDHU 14 plus. So some sort of head unit for a motorcycle. I thought motorcycles ran on 6 volts, but turns out they run on 12 volts. So what I did was I took my power supply up there, tuned it to 12 volts, and grounded the head unit, and I basically put power to my accessory line and also my B plus line. So if you don't supply power to those two things, then nothing's gonna work at all. So yeah, this is just basically, it's a quick and dirty way to see if everything is working. So if everything was working, then the display would be on and whatnot. But I'm just gonna take some measurements and I'm gonna show you guys what I've been seeing, what I found. I think the issue on this guy, unfortunately, is going to be the display itself, because I was taking some measurements and seeing certain things, and I don't think it can't be a power supply issue, because I'm going to show you that also. So yeah, I'm going to basically now probe around here and just show you that I have all my main stuff. So my 12 volts, which is from this harness over here, is coming in, and there's a fuse just right over there, right here, and I'm gonna probe it on the other side, and you'll see we have 11.55 volts, so that's okay. And then this is a regulator, so this one is a 5 volt regulator. So on the input I'm reading 9 volts DC, and then on the output, which is this leg over here, I am getting 5 volts, give or take. So this is okay. So there's nothing shorting on the 5 volt circuitry. Again, I'm just probing around 5 volts. That's okay. If I check, that's 5 volts. If I check the 3.3 volt circuitry, which is over here through this cap over here, 3.33, almost pretty much exactly right on the nose. So that's working as well. Then if I go over here on this side, I'm not quite sure what this is over here. I think this is probably all. This is for the amplifier, preamp and whatever amplifier section. So if yeah, it looks like this is the amplifier section. So if I go over here, maybe my camera, this is the amplifier section on the board over here. This is the Bluetooth section. This is for the Bluetooth communication with your whatever mobile devices. Now if I put my probe right there, 5.07 volts. So preamp and power amp, I guess, is working, because I think the customer stated that that's okay. It's just that the display itself is not working. So now we're gonna go, basically, this I kind of took it apart and looked at it already before. Same with everything else. This, I guess, is like the main chip here, and it gets pretty hot. Yeah, it gets pretty hot. Oh yeah, it does get pretty hot. See, that's the thing now. I don't know if this is normal or not. It's hot to the point where I have to take my hand off. But the thing is, yet at the same time, if I look at my power supply, it's not drawing that much current for this all being powered on. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's drawing 1 amp of current, so I'm not sure. It's tough because I don't even have schematics for this thing, so I can't even... I don't have anything for a reference. But we do, and this is why I don't think it's bad, because if I look, this is the supply, 3.4. Now, if this was shorted, or if this was bad, I would not be seeing 3.4. I would be seeing something like 1 I would be seeing something like 1 point something, or 0.5 or 0.6 or something like that, indicating that there is a short. But the fact that it's reading 3.4 is telling me that it's not shorted. So if I look here, that's ground. And then there's two other pads here. See, now I don't know if there's supposed to be power going to them. This one is reading 0. This one is going to read 0 as well. And then there's another pad in the back over here. I don't know, I think it's this one, yeah. This one's reading 0 as well. I don't think that all these chips are okay, because if there was a problem with these chips, then either the 3.3 or the 5-volt supply, it would be affected in some way, and you can tell it easily by just probing these two caps over here. This capacitor here and this capacitor over there. That guy, this is the 5-volt capacitor, and this is the 3.3-volt capacitor. So I don't think there's a problem. Even if I go here, there's some tantalum caps on the board. 3.4. If I go here, just be careful not to short anything. 3.3. And then I think this one's 5 or 11. No, there you go, 5 volts. 5 volts. So everything looks like it's in good shape. I put my hand on these other ICs. A bit warm, but not as much as this one. This one's really hot. It's hot to the point where I can't even put my finger on it. Well, just let me show you. Just to show you this is isopropyl alcohol. And you can, I can't even focus properly. This is isopropyl alcohol. They just put. I want to see how fast this goes away. It doesn't seem to be going that fast away. Interesting. Yet it's hot. Let me put a smaller amount, maybe. Hang on. If I put a smaller amount, see how fast this goes away. It's funny how it's all it's going to that corner, because this radio, if you look closely, it's at an angle. Yeah, you see? The radio is at an angle. The unit's at an angle. That's why it's just kind of sitting in that corner. But anyways, I don't think it's an issue with the main CPU. So if I go, I'm pretty certain, almost with like 100% confidence, that all of the main board here is okay. So now that means it has to be somewhere here. So this is the user interface, if you want to call it. So, there goes that. Basically, we have lights. These are not buttons, by the way. These are not buttons. These are just LEDs that illuminate. There's no buttons, I can promise you that. The screen is not cracked. I mean, you can see for yourself it's not cracked. And this is why I'm a bit stumped. So I'm going to show you some measurements that I took over here. So here is the backlight circuitry. This is a TFT display, and it's using a fluorescent sort of kind of backlight. But I'm going to show you, I have some measurements here. And I'm going to show you that we have power being delivered to our backlight. So if I go ahead, and I do this, we have 4.83 there. If I go on to the other side, we have 4.92. So we have power getting to the fluorescent backlight. There's two test points here. See, TP2, TP1. 4.83. 4.93. And there were two components here, actually. Notice how there's a bit of a burn here. There was two resistors here that I removed because I think they might have gone bad. I put them there. They're very tiny. They're over here on the table. I don't think they're any good, so I kept them out. Because when I tested it, it appears shorted between both sides. So I left it out, and I still don't have a change. It's still dead. There's no display. It's still dead. So, unfortunately, this can only mean that the display itself is no good. And my customer was saying that it was on one day it was like one side was good and then the other side was kind of like going dark. So I mean, at this point, I think I'm just gonna put it back together and I'm gonna give it to the customer and I'm gonna tell him, look, and this is just going off what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing anything bad other than that, and it's still not changing anything. So I think the problem is with the actual display, unfortunately. So the main board again is okay. It's just this thing over here. So, I mean, I can't do much. And I even tried looking up, there's this IC over here. That IC that's right there. U18, I think they say. Or U18, sorry. U18, which is this guy right here. That's, it appears to be a backlight driver of some sort. But this number that's on here, I'm going to read it to you. It's going to be MD1LS. I tried looking at the datasheet for this thing and I cannot find anything. There's no datasheet available for this thing whatsoever. So, I mean, I'm at a loss here because there's not much that I can do because I don't have enough resources to find what I need, unless if someone has a service manual for this, which is very unlikely because it's a Chinese company that made this thing. And unfortunately, getting documentation is like very hard. So there's no schematics for this at all. Again, I looked it up just out of curiosity. There's nothing whatsoever. So to fix something like this, it's going to be a bit difficult. But anyways, I think I'm going to leave it at that. So again, there's not much that I can do. There's not much that I can do at this point for this, other than putting it back together and giving it back to my customer. So, knowing that, if you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Put a comment down in the bleep bloop section below. And hit the bell so that you're not going to miss a new video when it comes out. So, until then, guys, take care, okay? Bye-bye.